Isaac Newton's personal life, a portrait of isolation, genius, and humility. Isaac Newton, one of history's most brilliant minds, lived a life shrouded in mystery and isolation. Although widely admired for his monumental contributions to science and mathematics, his personal life was far less conventional. Newton never married, and to this day, there is a widespread belief that he may have died a virgin. Not only did he avoid romantic relationships, but he also kept his distance from any of life's common pursuits, preferring instead a single-minded devotion to his work. One of Newton's contemporaries, the French writer and philosopher Voltaire, attended Newton's funeral in London and remarked that he was never sensible to any passion and was not subject to the common frailties of mankind. To Voltaire, Newton seemed almost otherworldly in his detachment, unaffected by the usual desires and distractions of life. Voltaire even quoted Newton's attending physician and surgeon, who insisted Newton had never engaged in relationships with women. This observation later intrigued thinkers as diverse as mathematician Charles Hutton, economist John Maynard Keynes, and scientist Carl Sagan, who commented on Newton's likely celibacy as a curious footnote to his genius. A profound friendship, Newton and Nicolas Fatio de Duillier. Despite his detached exterior, Newton was not entirely devoid of deep connections. Around 1689, Newton met the Swiss mathematician Nicolas Fatio de Duillier, and the two struck up a strong and unusually close friendship. Fatio, several years Newton's junior, was intensely drawn to Newton's mind and brilliance. Their relationship was deeply intellectual and emotionally charged, with both men seemingly inspired and energized by the other. Some historians have wondered if this friendship touched a deeper, more emotional side of Newton that he rarely allowed to surface. However, by 1693, the relationship took a sudden and unexplained turn. Newton and Fatio's friendship ended abruptly, leaving Newton devastated and deeply shaken. This heartbreak coincided with a period of intense personal distress for Newton. He began to unravel, sending erratic and accusatory letters to close friends such as Samuel Pepys and John Locke. In one letter to Locke, Newton accused him of trying to embroil him with women and by other means. These outbursts suggest Newton may have been experiencing a nervous breakdown, possibly amplified by the sudden end of his friendship with Fatio. Standing on the shoulders of giants, the rivalry with Robert Hooke. Newton was known for his modesty, or perhaps a certain guarded humility when it came to his achievements. In a famous 1676 letter to the scientist Robert Hooke, Newton wrote, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants." This phrase has often been cited as evidence of Newton's humility, implying that his discoveries built upon the work of those who came before him. But Newton's relationship with Hooke was far from friendly. They were rivals, often clashing over credit for optical discoveries. Hooke, who was short and hunchbacked, may have been the indirect target of this comment. Some historians suggest Newton's statement had a double meaning, a subtle dig at Hooke's physical appearance hidden within an otherwise humble phrase. Still, the saying itself was not new. It was an old proverb suggesting that even a dwarf on a giant's shoulders sees farther. In Newton's version, however, he may have meant both humility and rivalry, all in one line. Newton's own reflection, a boy on the shore of the unknown. Near the end of his life, Newton made a humble reflection on his place in the grand scheme of things. "I do not know what I may appear to the world," he wrote, "but to myself I seem to have been only like a boy playing on the seashore, and diverting myself in now and then finding a smoother pebble or a prettier shell than ordinary, whilst the great ocean of truth lay all undiscovered before me." This striking metaphor captures Newton's awareness of the vastness of the unknown. Despite his groundbreaking achievements in mathematics and physics, he saw himself as a mere child, occasionally stumbling upon new insights, while the grand mysteries of the universe stretched infinitely beyond him. This sense of humility, whether modesty or a deep understanding of the unknown, adds a final, humanizing layer to the otherwise impenetrable genius of Isaac Newton.